Good evening. It is Sunday, the 8th of March. Seven days away from the Ides of March. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Redman. Actually, I stopped. Yeah. It is March the 8th. Did a little stream earlier this morning, a little playthrough with POE 2. I'll do that every Sunday morning if time permits. It's the game I like to play. Gives me a little bit of chance to breathe, a little bit of a chance to relax, interact, but at the same time, it's also one of those things where I like to do. I like to play chess too. I like to do a lot of other things. Sorry. My dog is barking like a freaking hound. Holy cow. He is going nuts. He's going loud. But that's what Roddies do. So I got a message the other day. Wanting to know exactly what does it mean? Broken man. Well, it's pretty simple. You know, I think that we all are a little broken. I think we all have a lot of faults. I think we all have a lot of things that we have to fix with ourselves. I think we have a lot of vices. I think we all have a lot of history that we have to contend to. A broken man doesn't necessarily mean he's an incomplete man. A broken man doesn't necessarily mean that he is somebody who is on the street, homeless. It could be, but it could also mean that he's struggling with his life, his duties, his responsibilities, along with his vices, along with his inadequacies. Most of the time in this world, as I explained to this person that messaged me, we're all kind of broken in a way. Our past dictates how we react to the present. It's not always perfect. It's not always pure. It's not always something that we are proud of or that we are, but it's also one of those admissions that because I'm not perfect, because I have flaws, because I have vices, I'm not one of those people out there who try to espouse that I'm right, I'm correct, I have opinions, and I'll share them with you. I don't think it's one of those things where one should ignore those faults, should ignore those vices, should ignore those things and challenges that they're having to overcome. And I think that the title, A Broken Man, is not broken to a point of I give up. I think it is a symbolism of we can admit that we're broken. We can say that, I'm flawed. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I am going to give up. That we are, going to give in to what our challenges are. A good friend of mine constantly tells me that, God put the challenge in front of you. And he's going to continue to put that same challenge in front of you until you overcome it. And then he'll immediately give you another one. It's just a matter of constantly overcoming whatever challenge that you have in your world. And trust me, this last week been a challenge. It has been a challenge. I'm sure it's been a challenge for you. It's been a challenge for me. We just find a way to try and overcome it. But at the same time, we all have to realize that at the same time, we are going to continue the struggle, continue the fight, continue on and on and on. And that's exactly what we do. So I hope that answered your question. The person who DM'd me, because I'm not going to respond regardless. I sent him a link, told him I would actually respond directly to him, and we'll go from there. So one of the things that I've been struggling with as far as, what this show is about. Been playing with it left and right. Whether I'm going to be a commentator, whether I'm going to be a reactor, whether I'm going to be, a gamer. It's one of those things where it's not a mosh posh. Because I have opinions. I started in this scene back in 2005. YouTube. I didn't look this up. YouTube started in 2005. It was nothing. They beta launched in May of 2005. I was doing actual live content in 2005. They officially launched in December. I was still doing my stuff along with a lot of other people, just not on camera. Camera was not of the median as far as out there. YouTube brought it to fruition, and we, and it took off. Again, around that same time, shit happened. Life happened. Had to stop doing what I was doing, which I was an online DJ with a decent following, along with a lot of the people out there who are doing that. And the platforms shifted. Okay. Regardless. But I've been doing online since then. Just here, there. Nothing major. I've been following politics since I was 16 years old. So I got a lot of opinions. Entertainment, I got a lot of opinions, but not a lot as far as what I'm going to divulge or what I'm going to talk about, because everybody in that area really, who gives a shit? I love music. I am going to be showcasing a lot of independence. I'm a huge independent artist person. Showcased one the other night. Found him the other day. It was freaking awesome. And I'm going to do a lot of that stuff. So you're going to get a lot of opinions. You're going to get a lot of new stuff as far as music goes, because again, I follow that stuff. These are independent. These are guys who are not signed to, a record label. I hope they never do. I hope they just keep on, because YouTube and Spotify and Apple Play or Apple Music and all these other, formats are able to give them a venue to be able to put their artistry out there, and at the same time we can consume it. And there's a lot of examples out there who have made a great living off of this independently. Okay. And I know that the music industry is very much against these guys. I mean, when I say very much against these guys, I mean very much against these guys. They will rig this shit to what they want to put on the radio and what they want to sell albums to. And the independents, they struggle, they're hard. So we're going to showcase a lot of independent artists out here. The other thing I do is I, follow very specific podcasters. Chess, food, love food. I'm a foodie. I'm a big foodie. Shout out to Guga, one of my favorite podcasters. Guga Foods, by far the number one. And a lot of other food networks, but Guga's definitely number one. DIY, I've got 10 acres, playing around with it all the time. There's a lot of stuff that I'm interested in. So yeah, it's going to be a montage. There's not going to be a niche. One thing that I was doing this weekend, it's like, oh my God, just launched the show. And, what am I doing? What am I doing? Everybody's saying, get a niche. And you do. You've got quite a few niches out there. And the problem is with me, I've got so many different interests, and I've got so many different things that I want to talk about. How in the hell can you put that down into a freaking funnel, into a one-lane thing, and make it perfect? And as the life that I've lived, it's very hard, because there's so many things that, you've got your people out there who, besides your, instructive people, the people, hey, you can, learn how to do this. Your financial people, your reactionaries who they'll pull up somebody else's YouTube and react to it, or or music, or film. You'll have the debate bros who constantly debate, and then you have people who react to those debates. I do that too sometimes. This isn't gonna be one of those things that you can fit into a box. And the reason why I say that is because at my age, it's not that I can't focus on one thing or another, but my passions have always grown over time, and they've stuck. They've stuck hard. Okay. It's not a singular path. There's so many different branches out there. I mean, like for instance, this morning was playing, POE. Path of Exile, for those who don't know. Played it for about an hour. Dogs went crazy. I was like, deuces, I got to go take care of my shit. Bye-bye. That shit happens. But it's also one of those things where, there's a lot of stuff going on in this world that, the talking heads, the commentators, they forget the common man. They forget the person who goes to work and comes back home and still have to deal with their shit. And this stuff's supposed to be entertaining. It's supposed to take your brain off of this. And sometimes it is. Sometimes it's like, no, it doesn't. Really makes it worse. But regardless, it's also one of those things where, we're going to make this entertaining. I'm going to make this entertaining, I hope. We're also going to cover a lot of stuff. It's not going to be something that's going to be, singular. But at the same time, it's not going to be dull at the same time. So, to the person who sent me a message, that's exactly what we're about. So with that, one of the things that I find very frustrating in the YouTube Rumble universe is freaking drama. You can find drama everywhere. I mean, you can turn it on anywhere and you're gonna find drama. And I find it hilarious, but at the same time, I find it funny that there are so many people in this world who live rent-free in other people's minds. It's crazy. And what I mean by crazy, I mean when you've got your I'm sure you've had your favorite, YouTuber guy, whoever it is, and they start a beef either on X or on Twitch or on, whatever platform it is. I mean, I remember I did this back in the early 90s. We had beefs. We had beefs with the people who were online, and it was a fun suck you in drama type of bullshit. And it's still going on today. It is still going on today. The problem is it stops being fun after a while to those who are involved because it becomes very serious. One of the things that I ran across the other day, or actually, it actually happened, the other day, but it is kind of current now, is, I don't know if you guys watch Joe Rogan. There's a popular podcaster on YouTuber out there, Andrew Wilson. Now, Andrew Wilson is a satirist. Andrew Wilson, I won't call him a political commentator because he really doesn't do that. He debates. And what brought him to rise to fame the quickest, I won't say the best, I won't say the most, but the quickest was the Whatever podcast. Now, I've been following this guy for about a year and a half, 2 years. He's one of the best debaters out there. And, the left and the feminists hate him. Well, apparently, there's, again, drama. It's not like once you get to that point, you're going to get a lot of people who are just going to, dial in and target you. When they get big enough, you're going to get targeted. Tim Pool, Joe Rogan, once you get to that point, you get targeted. Maybe I will too one day. Who knows? Like and subscribe. Isn't that the saying? Like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Blah, 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 blah. But as I was saying, I've been following this guy for about 2 years. And he targets and he attacks the people that he disagrees with and that is his opposition in a brutal way. And when I mean brutal, I mean on point brutal way. But at the same time, he's also one of those who meets energy for energy. And it's done. It's done. He walks away. He does his thing. You go do your thing. Leave me alone. And yet, everybody who freaking deals with him, he lives rent-free in their minds. And this has been going on, God, like at least, I mean, he really started coming in the scene. I mean, really, really coming in his own about a year and a half ago. So this is the problem with online drama. It's crazy. It's nuts. That's not the one I was wanting. This lady right here called into Not So Erudite, which Andrew actually had a debate a week ago. Actually, I think, it was a week ago Sunday or a week ago Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. And this girl, this was crazy. And the reason why I say it's crazy,
Andrew Wilson's a rapist. I saw you did you do sit with Andrew Wilson? He's a rapist.
This girl's crazy. And I'm going to play this for a minute.
He's a rapist. Andrew Wilson's a rapist. I saw you did you do sit with Andrew Wilson? That's one thing I would disagree with you doing, which is interesting. Like maybe that's the where the debate Andrew Wilson happen. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Now, the reason why she's calling this out, the reason why she is even dumb enough, because I don't think she listened to that exact argument that he was having. I mean, first of all, you do not call somebody a rapist without having proof. And the example that he was giving on that night of the debate, I remember I watched this episode. And it was hilarious. It was funny. He was trying to make a point. And dumb people, and I call this dumb people like this, take it. And they run with it. So in context, I'm not going to find the clip. But at the same time, I will address it. Because, again, this pisses me off. The drama pisses me off. But at the same time, it's one of those things. This stupid woman right here. So, Andrew Wilson was talking about relationships and the sexual relationships that a man and a woman have in their marriage. And the funny thing is about this, and I'm not going to say that, his wife would agree with him, okay? Because I've watched her stuff too. This dumb broad took a single clip, where he was explaining intermarital relationships and how they interact with each other sexually. He was talking about she was sleeping. He woke up with a freaking wood and would go after her. Now, the man's been married for at least 17 years that I'm aware of. I could be wrong, but it's around 17 years. If you're married if you have that relationship. I know I have. I know my wife has come to bed after I have gone to bed and tried to arouse me to get her into intimacy. When you're sleeping, there is no yes, there's no no. When you're married, there is no yes, there is no no. At that point in time, okay, you're either going to be sexually aroused and turn around and bam, or you're going to be like, I'm tired. I'm going to fake like I'm sleeping and I'm just going to sleep through this. Happens to me, happens to my wife. I'm sure it happens to Andrew. I'm sure it happens to his wife. Nonetheless, he was giving an explanation of, yeah, I'll wake up and I'll take my wife. Or I'll wake up and she's taking advantage of me. And yet this dumb broad, this stupid dumb broad, again, claims that he raped her.
I just worry immediately for your safety in that moment because of the fact that he's a rapist. Andrew Wilson's a rapist. I mean, he's admitted on live streams before on his podcast that he doesn't really believe in what he understands the modern version of consent to look like. And
that's the thing about it. The modern understanding of consent. First of all, what does her shirt say? Something is sexy. I can't see that. Modern is now. Okay. The man's been married for 17 years. He's had 2 children with this woman. If you're going to take, and you can go look up this episode. You can go ahead and look up the episode where he was actually talking about this and explaining what that is and what that means. A dumb broad like this is going to get with a guy, and she's going to be a snowflake, and she's going to be calling you a rapist. Avoid this type of woman. Just saying, avoid it. Okay? But this is the stupid shit. This is the stupid shit that podcasters have to deal with.
His entire career is upon a foundational premise that you get clicks by bullying underage girls or women who are underqualified to speak about political problems. And I'm not saying that that's you. I actually don't think that that is you at all. And I think that he went out on a limb when he debated you, because that's not usually the type of person that he would engage with. But like,
now you have to understand that, she's dumb. And the reason why I say she's dumb, because she's speaking in a term she doesn't know who she's talking about. She doesn't realize that somebody who has debated Harvard grads, who's debated professors, who has debated lawyers, I mean, not so erudite, is, I won't say she's upper there, but at the same time, she's very intelligent. She's very intelligent. She has a lot of wrong takes on stuff, and she sneaks and snakes around them. But at the same time, this woman is, she's not stupid. She really isn't stupid. And yet this blonde chick decides, we're going to accuse Andrew Wilson of raping. Totally out of context. Totally, out of the thing that's going on. So this is the problem with, society today. And this is the problem with, a lot of people talking and having conversations, because we've lost the ability to listen, to digest that information, come up with a either counterpoint and or a conclusion. Instead, we're always waiting to respond. Now, there are some out there who are really good at the opposite. Not so erudite is definitely not one of them, but again, she's very highly intelligent in of that respect. And thankfully for her,
maybe it's not a platforming, and so correct me, am I misunderstanding?
She kind of corrects
it's
it.
Somewhat feels
maybe a little.
Okay.
Maybe a little, because I'm not big on the argument of you platforming, you're legitimizing these ideas. I think that that's actually a really complex and nuanced topic that people slap a big thought-terminating cliche on. You're legitimizing, you're doing this. I was genuinely just worried that a woman was engaging in the debate. I think that in this instance, when it comes to men like this, it should be a man who engages. And also, I was literally worried for your physical safety. I'm worried for the physical safety of the women who go in person to these podcast environments. I've heard horror stories of them forcing you to film for 8-9 hours and then promising you reimbursement, but then they're dragging out the debate until they get until they're satisfied, and only then will they reimburse you. And people have been stranded out in the desert trying to get back home because of I've heard horror stories from so many women. Obviously, I'm not going to put them on blast here, but
no, she hasn't. And when I say no, she hasn't, I will put money down that the people that she's actually heard from are people where rage quit and or canceled and or walked out on the whatever podcast. Now, can they have a grievance? They might. But the funny thing is if you read Brian, the host of whatever podcast, he's pursuing a lawsuit. This is defamation. This is huge defamation. And I think that, the problem with like I was talking about earlier is frickin' drama. Drama. These are people who have nothing better to do. Now, if you've ever watched the whatever podcast, I'm sure that you can surmise what that's about. Even they claim it to be a dating podcast. Even dating, when I was dating, you can't. I think it's a very select type of pool that is brought onto that podcast. And I know that, the host have spoken to several different people, thousands and thousands of women from all across the country. Here's the problem. The U.S. is pretty freaking huge. It's pretty freaking huge, both culturally, landmass, and societal. You can go from the West Coast 250 miles east and find a different type of thought pattern and a different type of societal norm than from where you started. There are those who are seeking that public eye, who have the same type of thought process that are on those podcasts. But for the majority, no. It's nowhere near reality. It just really isn't. It's nowhere near reality. I don't think anybody decides, I don't think anybody can actually talk about that stuff. So the funny thing about it is not so erudite. Like I said, actually had a debate with with Andrew Wilson a couple weeks ago, and a caller came in. Call on her show. Caller called in and was trying to pump her up, and she was actually honest.
You debating
She was actually pretty
I'm gonna
honest.
try to be as nice about this as I can. It seems you get bogged down in like philosophy talk. So like you'll like talk about Agrippa's trilemma. I understand he was doing like philosophy too. He's trying to like walk you back. To, like, oh, you're.
Just to be clear, the person who wanted to do a philosophy talk was him, not me. I wanted to talk about substance.
Yeah, Andrew goes all the way in with philosophy.
Like debate like an Andrew Wilson, I wouldn't go with philosophy. I would try to like.
How do you not go with philosophy when they keep forcing the issue?
Yeah, and that's what they always do. I want to go with substance. And here's the problem with that. Is substance is based off of actual reality.
So like
to answer their questions.
Well, I wouldn't refuse to answer their questions, but like I'm trying to like think of this is like if he asked me like, okay, if I like think of philosophy like, okay, you believe in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think like people should be happy? It's like, well, I'm a normal human being. I think, I just want people to be happy. It's like, well, like, do you want like a
Before you throw another controller,
damn ads.
maybe break up with your lag.
Damn ads.
Switch to Optimum Internet.
I guess I wouldn't say like a bad person to be happy, like doing bad things to other people, and then you're gonna have to like say it's like, well, not at the cost of others, right? Like, and try not to get like too bogged down in it. I guess like I would just be like, I wouldn't like avoid the question, but I'd try to bring it back to more of a like a practical perspective, right? So if he says like, why shouldn't I? It's like, well, why shouldn't I pursue Christian nationalism? It's like, well, if you pursue this, like you're gonna end up fighting and like killing each other eventually. Eventually, it'll devolve into that. Do you really like want that? And he's like,
why would you assume it would devolve to that? Why would you assume that it devolves to that?
Christian nationalism?
Yeah, why would you assume it would dissolve to that?
Because it did in Europe.
Yeah, but this is America. This is America. Obviously, these aren't the same countries or nations.
We're not that different than Europeans. Like we're not just like a different human animal.
Yeah, but the time in which it devolved was typically in times of monarchy. Why would you assume that in a democracy that we would devolve to that?
That's usually what happens in like nationalism. It devolves in like
usually
right-wing authority.
Usually, what happens? Just so you know, I'm being Wilson right now.
Well, okay, it is what happens actually. You know what? You're
real political commentator looks like. And so I've been thinking, I've really been trying to get my life in order. And I was like, should I go to church more? Should I read more? Should I start working out? But then I realized what the key to success is. And so, ladies and gentlemen, inspired by great friend of the show, Brian Shapiro, Rob. Now,
This is what it means when somebody
I'm
lives
a
rent-free
syndicated
in your
radio
life.
host. I'm trying to be a syndicated radio host. And what I've decided is to move out of the second floor of my attic.
Your attic?
That's what I did. Rob. Your wives probably don't.
Radio host. Okay.
Did I tell you I have a girlfriend? He's making all you do. I come on here. Ethics. That's all you.
Rob.
200 million people are doing begging for money.
Got something to do with.
My good friend. Man, I gotta say,
That's called rent-free living. Rent-free living. Look, Brian Shapiro visited this guy's stream over and over again. Brian Shapiro, if you don't know, he's a radio host out of Las Vegas. He's got a YouTube channel. He goes on to, some good commentators, Piers Morgan and stuff like that. He's got a good following, right? For a good 2-3 weeks, this guy popped in to Rob's channel. And at no point in time, but that right there is Rob is living in your brain, man. He's living in your brain. And I think it's crazy. I think it's, absolutely nuts that you're going to let somebody of that nature actually allow that much stuff. Crazy. So for the final 30 minutes of the show, let's see. Yeah, we're going to play some chess. Why am I going to play some chess? Because I love chess. I love chess. I love playing chess. We're going to play some random guy. Sunday night. I'm chill. We're going to have some fun. Now, the one thing that I do, I watch a lot of chess videos. I do. I learn. I used to play chess back in the way day. But at the same time, it's also one of those things where I've never been, a grandmaster or anything like that. This guy, who is he? Oh, he's from Peru. Ooh. Interesting. All right, cool. That's a good block right there. We'll just do that. So I can't play the Java London. So we're playing Queen's Open, which really, really sucks. Really, really sucks. Interesting. All right, cool. Now we can actually get back into it. I didn't see that. That sucked. Okay. Make a move. Make a move. He's gonna go like that. Oh. Interesting. Thank you. Boom. Oh, wow. Interesting. He blocked me, didn't he? That's all right. Hmm. We'll do that. That's fine. It's kind of one of those things where you just don't know what you're going to do. Hmm. We got that. We got that. We got that. Yeah, that'll work. So if he takes that, I take his queen. Hmm. Let's see, who called me? Yeah, why did you call me? Somebody called me. Hold on. Can't take there. Can't go there. He's got that. Then I got that. What he'll probably do is he'll probably do this. He'll either do that or he'll do that. Can almost bet he's going to do that. I can almost bet he's going to do that. Almost bet. Almost bet he's going to do that. Hello. What? Oh, interesting. Oh. Okay. That. Hmm. Yeah. We'll do that. He can come here. I'm going to put my rook in check, but that's okay. He's going to take that. He's going to go there. I'll go. Oh, see? Told you. Told you right there. Yeah. I looked away. No, you're fine. You're fine. That's fine. Yeah, we'll just do that. There you go. Excuse me. Oh. So, President Trump actually said he will not sign another bill until the Save America Act is done. Very interesting. I don't know if this guy's going to win. He might. He might be able to pull it off. He might pull it off. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. I screwed up. I screwed up there. Oh my God, I can't believe you actually did that. I can't believe you actually did that. Oh, he could have taken my rook. He could have taken my rook and I would have been absolutely Yep. He could have taken it. He screwed up there. He screwed up there. So, let's see here. You're going to take that, which is fine. Yep. Oh, he did get me. Yep, he got me. All right. Well, that's the end of the stream, guys. I hope you all appreciate it, and we will see you